Welcome to Bottom Line Inner Circle. Today I want to talk about the trade war with China, and that's what we're in. We're in a trade war with China. Uh, and I also want to talk about the a farmer that was on one of the news channels the other day. It was either MSNBC or CNBC or CNN, one of those channels. And this lady had on a farmer and was asking him questions. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone to lose their land, go through hard times, get into debt. But there's this big thing where, and I'm sure there are other farmers who are going through this and agree with this farmer, but there's also a lot of Americans that have already gone through hard times. So a lot of now that the farmers are going through hard times, it's falling on deaf ears, really, because I've been through hard times, you know. But I'm not wishing that on them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not wishing that on anybody. But what Trump is asking, I think he's asking for patience. For patience. And yeah, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to end in 2 or 3 weeks. More than likely, this is going to go on for a few years. And why I say that is because you have leftists out there telling the Chinese government to not make a deal with Trump until after the 2020 election because they might very well win the 2020 election. Now that's going to be a bad thing for China if they follow their word on that, because if Trump wins the 2021 election, which I think he's going to win, then it's going to become a much worse deal, because if Trump has to make a deal after the 2020 election, he's going to be mad, you know? And it's going to be a better deal for us in the long run. Now, that said, yes, the farmers are going to have a very bad few years. And Trump, I don't think Trump is one to bail out the farmers. However, I did see an article that he said there is some funding coming to the farmers and stuff, which I think is good. You know, if Obama bailed out how many companies, and he bailed out the farmers a couple times too, then why can't Trump? You know, but yeah, I do think he is funding, but I don't think he's going to bail out the farmers like Obama did. Just come get your money, come get free money, which he might. But maybe he's just going to do it to the farmers that are really affected by the trade deal with China, or the fail trade deal with China. Now I want to talk about economics a little bit. So that with the farmers, be patient, you know, and prices are going to go up, and trade with China is going to resume at some point. So, but everyone wants the here and now, just like the young want free schooling right here and now. They just don't know that the future, the rest of their life, they're going to be paying for it just to get free schooling right now. You know, they aren't thinking of the consequences. But for these farmers, yeah, it's going to be hard. And so far, Trump has not been one to bail out companies or people. But if he does it to the farmers, good. Again, I don't wish it on anybody. But at the same time, I think it needs to be done. Now, I want to talk about the economics of this trade deal with China. There's something called the parabolic curve, and it goes up. Like, usually it starts out slow, then it goes up, but then when it gets to the end, it just skyrockets up. Well, that's what inflation has been doing. Okay, so inflation has been rising, 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 and the further it keeps on going, it just keeps on rising, and faster and faster and faster. So this trade deal with China is what it's going to do is it's going to increase that inflation faster, and that's why it's going to be costing us more money for things over the short term. And just like taxes, if taxes get voted in, they never come back down. Or if the utility companies raise their rates, they never go back down. Like our water, uh, bring it local, bring it home locally. We've been in a drought here in Utah about 10 or 12 years, right? Well, over the course of 10 or 12 years, the water company has raised their rates, I think 3 or 4 times, if not more. And then on top of that, they even went to a progressive rating system, meaning that if you use so much water, or how much they think that you're going to use, that it only costs so much. Then if you go up into the next tier, they charge you like 40 cents more a unit. I don't know how much. I'm just saying numbers here. And then if you go up into the third, then they charge like 80 or close to $1 more a unit, however much a unit is. But that's exactly what this trade thing is doing. What's going to happen? Oh, and okay, so now that we had a good year of water, we have a really good year of water. All the reservoirs are overflowing. In fact, there's flooding happening here in Utah, and we live on a mountain here in Utah. If it's flooding, it's a pretty good year in water. And in fact, for the last 3 weeks straight, it's almost rained every day here in Utah. And but now that we had a good year, do you think they're going to lower those progressive tiers down on the water company? No, we still have to pay those progressive tiers. And same with taxes. Taxes never come down. If you have really good in taxes and they have a surplus in tax revenue that year, are they going to give you a break that next year? No. And that's what's happening with this inflation and this China's trade war. So what's going to happen is inflation is already skyrocketing, and what the trade war with China is going to make it go up faster. And yeah, it's going to take 1 or 2 years. And after that, what's going to happen is I think the prices will fall, but they are not going to fall back down to where they are now. They're probably going to lose about 30%, 40%, and it will stay about 60 or 70% more than what it is now. Let's say if it doubled. I don't know what the numbers are actually going to be. But so yes, it is going to raise the prices faster, and for the short term, and even maybe a few years after that. But what's going to happen with this trade deal with China? See, this is what no one ever talks about in these interviews, is the short-term and long-term effects. And short-term effects in economics is really years. I mean, you really measure it through years. So you can't really say, well, in 6 months it's going to, it usually takes years to see the effects of what's going to happen. Even if it takes 2 years with China, it's going to raise the interest rates. It's going to raise inflation more. Then it will drop about 30 or 40% once the deal is made, which still might be higher than if we just let inflation raise at its normal rate with the same China trade we have now. It still might be more than that 2 years after the trade. But at some point in future time, it's what's going to happen because Trump will be able to make a good trade deal, is it's going to curb that inflation. So instead of still going up, it's going to curb that inflation. So yeah, in the short term, even years after the trade deal might be done, we still might be paying more. But 10 years down the road, we are going to be paying a lot less than if we just let the inflation and the trade deal that is in effect now keep on going on. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and that's what Trump is trying to do. And that's if we just let it keep on going on, we would see how long could we really live with it. I don't know. But I think the longer this goes on, the better deal America is going to get. China's, if you're looking at the exchange rates between American money and China's money, there's a lot of things you can really look at to gauge where the economy is at and everything. And in both America and China, and how this is affecting both countries. But I think in the end, I think America's going to end up with a better deal, and a lot better deal. And the longer it goes, the better deal America's going to end up with. So in that aspect, so that covers the farmers, and that covers the thing. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. Press the like button. Please don't be a lazy like button pusher, and share the video if you think I have something special to say. I hope you subscribe. Hope you like my videos. I want this. I hope we get a community going here. That's why I call it Inner Circle. This is our inner circle, And I like to have conversations, and I love to read comments. So anyway, I'll leave it there. See you in the next video. Let me know if you liked it.